I think we're live. Yeah.
We are.
We are live. Good morning, everybody. Blessings, blessings, beautiful beings of love and light. Here we are signing in. Sunday greetings, beloved earth angels. I've got my phone here. I'm going to find you on Facebook Live right now, because Zoom has notified me that we are live. So that's where I'm going to find you. Good morning. Good morning. Blessings, another beautiful Sunday morning. And when you arrive into our space here, let me know that you're here. I ask you for this loving favor every Sunday to let me know you're here with a comment or an emoji or some way that I can identify that you have joined us here at Brentwood Inspired Living Center's Sunday morning message on Facebook Live. And we are zooming to you on Facebook Live from Zoom. So there we go. I think I've got it up. Sometimes I'm not sure until I see a comment. So when you get here, let me know that you're here. We're so grateful to be joining together in this space. Welcome into our space of peace, harmony, love, well-being, compassion. When you get here, let me know that you've arrived. My name is Amy Van Ling, and it is with a heart full of gratitude and love and purpose that I am the spiritual director here at Brentwood Inspired Living Center. I'm here on the screen with Charlie and Jan, and you can't see Jan right now. Her camera wasn't operating this morning, but she is here behind the scene there. So
Hi, everyone.
I guess it doesn't show up on the Facebook Live when there isn't a picture, but Jan is also here with us. We just can't see her face this morning. Good morning, Brianna. She says, good morning. Thanks for the live stream. Yes, thanks for being here. Welcome in, beloveds. Welcome in, everybody. We're so grateful to be joining together. We welcome you into our spiritual community, Brentwood Inspired Living Center, where we emphasize a no dogma approach to spiritual living, to a spirit-filled life. So thank you for joining us this morning. I invite you, as you enter into, drop into a space where you can feel your heart center, that serene place in consciousness that is always available to us if we just remember to tune in. That's the key there. Just remember to tune in to that place and release tension, release judgments, anything. Allow yourself to just be bathed in the warm embrace of the energy of this community that is accepting and loving, encouraging you to be you, knowing that you are the light of the world. We know that you are a spark of divinity, and we want to remind you of that today. And welcome in. Good morning, Marianne. Welcome. She says, hi, Charlie. Welcome in, everybody. If you're visiting us for the first time, we are so glad that you're here. You can check out more about us on our website, brentwoodilc.org, and ways to connect with us. And we're always here for you. So tune in, let us know. Contact us. We'd love to hear. Our theme this month has been the sacred yes. It's been really exciting to hear all the dimensions and angles of the sacred yes. Beautiful, beautiful month. Welcome in, everybody. I see you joining in with us. Let me know when you arrive here with a comment in the comment feed, and that way I can see you. I can see your comment and your beautiful face. Today, I am joy-filled to be here with our dear friend, CHARLEY THWEATT. He brings his spirit-filled music and his heartfelt message. He's a world changer, a world shaker. I just love CHARLEY. He just brings so much depth and compassion and always a very deep, powerful message to us. And we're so grateful that he is here with his message, the spiritual to-do list, perfect topic for this December 18th. And today, after our service, we're going to be having a holiday concert for the holidays, and I'm really excited about that. That link is a separate Zoom link, and I'll post that here in the Facebook feed, the comment feed, so you can pop in there with us at 11:30 after we complete here this morning on Facebook Live. Yeah, and so invite everybody, because that is open for everybody. Our after service link, our Zoom link, occasionally it's a workshop, sometimes it's a concert. It is always open for everybody. So invite friends, family, the children to sing along. This is a fun, festive, joyful day. So join us. And thank you, Charlie, for being here. We're so grateful for your sacred yes to be with our community. You're very dear to us. And we're grateful. We're grateful when you can find time to Zoom with us. And for us, it's the afternoon, because I was going to say this morning, but for Charlie and I, we're in the afternoon already over here on this side of the coast of the country. Welcome in, everybody. Beloveds, let us know that you are here when you arrive with a comment. Yes, Charlie is also our musician today. So he's wearing two hats. So he's giving our message and bringing us our harmony and song. So it's an exciting day. And Jan is here. You don't see her, but she's here. She's Brentwood Inspired Living Center's very own Earth Angel, and she will be sharing our selected inspirational reading this morning and our prayer of plenitude. So thank you, everybody, for committing your energy and coming together to activate the high vibration of this community and bringing compassion to the world. We are many voices, many thought leaders, musicians sharing inspiration, allowing the unfoldment of wisdom and a space for inspiration and aliveness to be experienced. So thank you for being here, co-creating this space. Charlie, Jan, and I welcome you into Brentwood Inspired Living Center's Sunday morning gathering, gratitude gathering. So today is the fourth Sunday of Advent. As most of you know, I love Advent, and Advent is a space in consciousness that invites us to explore what Christmas really means to us personally, sort of diving into the understanding that Christ, divine essence, is that which dwells in each one of us, in our minds, our souls, our hearts. And in this Advent season, we are increasing our capacity to experience that Christ light within, that divine presence within ourselves. So each Sunday so far, we have focused on a different spiritual attribute to call forward each week and kind of just hold in our conscious lives. And so far, week 1, we looked at faith and hope. And week 2, it was peace. And week 3 of Advent, it was love. And this is our final 4th week of Advent. And this week will be holding the attribute of joy. And so when I think of Christmas, I always just feel joy. It's just a joyful time, a joyful season. And my perspective on joy is that it's when we speak life into any situation, when we speak light into darkness. Joy is when we understand that the good news of joy is that Christ's presence within us. And it's here, it's now, it's in the midst, no matter if it's a chaotic storm or peaceful calm. And it can look boisterous and gleeful like the holidays, or it can be quiet and tranquil, like I think of winter solstice like that, very quiet time. It's just knowing that you are held and you're in divine flow. So I invite us this week to be in this expectant waiting and, bringing joy to the world. That's what it's all about. So that's our attribute this week. And I'm grateful that we're all holding space for that together. Welcome in, Jennifer. Welcome in, Pat. Pat says, good winter morning to all. Blessings on this full of wonder season. Yes, it is. I always call it a gloriously glittery season. I like Christmas time. Of course, it's my birthday this week too. So it's always like double the fun, double the joy this month for me. Yay, everybody. Okay, well, we are going to get started with enlivening our mission statement. So I invite you at home to feel into who we are, what we're about, and being on this journey with us. We're pilgriming together with this mission. So we are an open, heart-centered spiritual community, honoring the one presence within us. We welcome all to connect, grow, and expand in wisdom, compassion, and love. Thank you for joining with us this morning. I am going to hand the screen over to Charlie for our first song this morning. We call this our community song. We invite you to sing along so you can get the energy flowing and your throat chakra open and your heart space wide open. And so sing along. Charlie, it is all yours.
Oh my God, I was going to do one song, now I have to do a different one. So here we go. We're going to pull some joy out for the fourth week of Advent. Hi, everybody. It's nice to be with you. Hi, Marianne, and all you folks there in Moreno Valley and all around California. So this one is I am the light of the world. That's something that we just heard Amy say earlier. So it's a up-tempo reminder from A Course in Miracles of who we are. So it goes, I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. And then you are the light of the world. And if someone's sitting next to you, you can just turn and say that to them. It goes like this. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. Then you are. You are the light of the world. That is your only function. That is why you are here. I am the light. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. You are the light of the world. That is your only function. That is why you are here. Let's sing, we are the light. Here we go. We are the light of the world. That is our only function. That is why we are here. We are the light of the world. That is our only function. That is why we are here. What if that was your only function? What if it were? Everything else would line up. Just be the light. Let the rest of life line up with that. Here we go. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. We are the light of the world. That is our only function. That is why we are here. I am the light. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. We are the light of the world. That is our only function. That is why we are here. Thank you. I can hear your amazing applause.
I can too. I love that song. That one's so exciting too in person. I just, it's so uplifting. I remember turning to everybody and singing it together. So thank you, Charlie. That was great.
You're welcome.
Thanks for switching it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hand the screen over to Jan for our inspirational reading. And I'm not sure how it's going to look because her picture's not on the screen, but she is here on the screen. So I'm going to see how that works out. Jan, go for it.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Amy?
Yes, we can hear you great.
Okay, good. Morning, everybody. I have no idea what's going on with my video, but I guess I wasn't supposed to be seen, only heard today. So our theme for December is the sacred yes, as you know. And this morning's reading is from writer Lisa Jensen. In June of 2020, she wrote this, and it's entitled Saying Yes to Life, Viktor Frankl and How to Live Meaningfully in Spite of Everything. So just 11 months after his release from labor camp, Viktor Frankl, who had lost his parents, his pregnant wife, and his brother to concentration camps, delivered a series of public lectures in Vienna. What topic did he choose? This man who had faced death, starvation, and atrocities beyond our imaginings. He chose the meaning of life. Frankl's lectures were compiled into a book entitled Yes to Life in Spite of Everything. In March of this year, in March of 2020, this book was published in English for the first time. So what is the meaning of life? According to Frankl, to frame the question this way, to establish ourselves as the interrogator of life, as the one who must provide an answer, reveals a fundamental misunderstanding. In his words, it is not we who are permitted to ask about the meaning of life. It is life that asks the questions. directs the questions at us. We are the ones who are questioned. We are the ones who must give answers to the constant hourly questions of life. So she says, life looks to us, to you, and asks, what meaning will you create in this moment? And Frankl then elaborated, living itself means nothing other than being questioned. Our whole act of being is nothing more than responding to, of being responsible toward life. With this mental standpoint, nothing can scare us anymore. No future, no apparent lack of future, because now the present is everything as it holds the eternally new question of life for us. So she says, what eternally new question is life asking you in this moment? I have no clue. Frankl asserted, and I agree, that the question life asks us, and in our answering, we can realize the meaning of the present moment does not only change from hour to hour, but it also changes from person to person. The question is entirely different in each moment for every individual. In other words, we're all unique. You are unique. The challenges you face are unique. The gifts you have to offer the world is unique. The question that the present moment poses to you must also be unique. It's your question. The way you choose to answer it creates the meaning of this moment and bit by bit of your life as a whole. To live meaningfully, we must hear the question that life is asking us right now, not clog our ears with the questions that we wish life would ask us. This is at the heart of saying yes to life. To say yes to life is to bend your ear toward the question that life is asking you right now. To say yes to life is to hear each question and live each answer. This yes is the raw material of a meaningful life. Thank you.
Beautiful. So I would say the sacred yes has a lot to do with being present in the moment. So thank you, Jan, for that. Appreciate you. Okay, Charlie, handing the screen back over to you.
Well, with that in mind, here's a song called In the Presence. Live your life in the presence. Fill each day with the essence as life brings its lessons to you. As each morning dawns again, the sun in you does rise, filling its heart to bear with all the skies. As clouds blow their way today, no part in you does cry, knowing the light that's here comes through you and I. And we live our lives in the presence, filling each day with the essence as life brings its lessons to all. In greeting my world today, I greet from within, standing on centered ground, I remember me again. When meeting our friends today, Let's see all that's there. Be willing to feel the love we share, and we live our lives in the presence, filling each day with the essence as life brings its lessons to you.
I love that. And you already had that song planned
Yes.
before I said being in the presence. I love how that happens. It's just divine. It's the divine unfoldment. Thank you,
Thank
Charlie.
you.
That's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Me too. Thanks.
Okay, Jan, I'm going to hand the screen back over to you for our prosperity blessing this morning. Hey there.
Okay, here I am again, the vision only in the black. Okay, I would invite you now to join me for our prayer of plenitude, and we welcome in and receive this glorious abundance today and every day. So take a deep breath and release it. Take another deep breath, breathing in love and light, and hold that breath gently. And now release it and slowly connect through your heart with our message of prosperity. So we come together today, opening our hearts and minds to the one spirit, the light, the infinite mind, knowing that there is only one power and one life, and that is the life of spirit. We affirm that we are one with spirit. We know that to be the truth, that there is no one, nothing, absolutely nothing that separates us from this oneness. We are one with the infinite mind that has created all that is, and we know that the divine qualities of peace, of power, of plenty, of wisdom are already within each one of us, and we embrace these qualities as our own. We step forward, and we step forward with love, with appreciation, with anticipation, standing in the truth of who and what we are, saying yes, yes to our prosperity, to our harmony, to our order, to our health, to our love, and our amazing expression in all forms. And with the greatest gratitude, we accept this transformation of our consciousness for ourselves and our community. We know that it is done, and we give thanks. And now we release, we let go, and we let spirit do its perfect work through us. And we trust the universe to provide for us, and it is done. And so it is. Thank you. And so now there's just a few important announcements for us today to know and to mark your calendar for. And please, 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 if you need a ride to any of these events and you're listening, give me a call. You can find my number in the directory. And if you don't have that, if you have somebody else's number, you can call them and they can give you my number. So join us next Sunday, and that's our Facebook Live Christmas morning service. And that'll be a wonderful way to start your Christmas day. Then on the following week, we have Christmas, our in-service is on January 1st, in-person service on January 1st, and Reverend Verona will be with us to usher in 2023. And then on from 11:30 to 1 after the service, she's going to lead us in a burning bowl ceremony where you'll be able to release what you no longer need and call in your heart's desires for 2023. So know that in 2023, we'll be together in person on the first Sunday of each month. And all other Sundays, each month we'll come together on Facebook Live like we have been for the last two and a half years, I think. And then the in-person service will also be taped and available on our website the next day. And also we're continuing next year, the third Sunday of the month, and we'll have Community Circle and Music on Saturday, the third Saturday of the month. And we'll be having Community Circle and Music by the 360s. So we're continuing all of that and hope to see you all there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Jan. We appreciate you. I'm going to read some of our comments because we have some comments coming in and I don't want to miss any of them. We have lots of good mornings. Good morning, everybody. Luinda says, I love it when you're here, Charlie. Love your songs, love your voice, love your energy. And let me just make sure, is this right? Oh, I'm wanting it on gallery. Marianne says, concert time at our house soon. Yay. Nathaniel says, good morning, Charlie. Noah, aka Scooter Jr. and I just got to my parents' house. We're tuning in with them.
That's funny.
Yay. Welcome in, beloveds. Jennifer says, really appreciate the reading, Jan, and how it emphasizes how important it is for us to be still and listen so that we can hear the questions that life is asking of us. Absolutely gorgeous and heartwarming music, Charlie. Thank you. Luinda says, beautifully said, Jan. Welcome in, beloveds. We're so grateful to be together. So grateful that you're here with us this morning. Yay, so blessed. I'm going to hand the screen back over to Charlie for another song this morning.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to use this to lead into a time of meditation and then my talk. Are we on track? Is that right?
Perfect. Well, you know what? Why don't we do this?
Okay.
Why don't I read your bio right now? And then that way I can just hand it over to you and we can just take it away. Yeah.
There we go. Got it.
So let me read you. So Jan, thank you for being with us. We love you. We're grateful
I'll say
for
goodbye
you.
and see you on the other side. Thanks.
Goodbye, beloved.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you, Jan.
Yeah. So, yeah, because we want to know about Charlie for anybody who's here that's just learning about Charlie for the first time. Charlie is a musician, speaker, and transformational life coach. He and his wife, Heidi, moved 3 years ago from Santa Cruz to Connecticut and now Florida. As a young man, he took a huge leap of faith from his budding architecture career into the touring life of a full-time spiritual presenter. Since 1981, Charlie has inspired tens of thousands of people in 15 countries on 6 continents. He has also been the musical opener for such luminaries as Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Ram Dass, Tony Robbins, and Louise Hay. Charlie has 18 life-changing music albums and has appeared on national television and radio. And he is an exceptional being of love and light. And I am so grateful to know him and have him as a friend and have him here with us today. So thank you so much, Charlie. I'm going to hand the screen over and so you can take us away into the rest of the morning.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's great to be here with everyone. And if you don't mind, I just do a quick announcement while we're still kind of in announcement mode versus getting into it mode. So I also do these tours to Italy, and if you'd like to come with me on one of the tours, you can look me up on musicangel.com. I have a couple of more spaces left for April. So you want to go to Italy with me? Think about it. And I have one single Unity female from another church who needs a roommate. So maybe you're that person. Okay, my announcements are over. I want to use this song to go into a time of meditation. And I love that the theme of the month is the sacred yes. And this week it's about joy, but also the theme of my talk is going to be saying yes to just that simple being, just a being. So we're going to look a lot at going deeper into just being, if that means anything to you, and hopefully it will by the end of my talk. So this song is also about going into that. So it's a simple song. You can add your voice if you want. We'll let it fade, and I'll then do a little meditation at the end after a little silence. So here goes. This is called Each Moment. I stay with each moment, each moment, each moment. The presence of God, the presence of God. I breathe into each moment, each moment, each moment. the presence of love, 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 the presence of love. Sing with me. I stay with each moment, each moment, each moment, the presence of God, the presence of God. I breathe into each moment, each moment, each moment, the presence of love, 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 the presence of love. So just ooh with me. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. The presence of love, 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 the presence of love. Just take a moment in the silence. In Scripture, there's a famous phrase, be still and know, I am God. And maybe that's the whole journey, just to find that place of stillness, to know the presence of God in that place. Be still and know. It's really an invitation to being, simple state of awakened being. Be still and know. What if that were the answer to everything? When turmoil shows up in your life, be still and know. You have a big question. What do I do at this fork in the road? Be still and know. Thank you, God, that being is always at our core, always accessible. It's our foundation, it's our essence, it's our self. Be still and know. into nothing, sailing into space, sailing into everything I face, sailing into my destiny, where my future meets my past, knowing that the soul of me will last to the last, sailing into nothing, sailing into space, where clouds wrap around me like lace. Whoa. Into my destiny, where my future meets my past, knowing that the soul of me will last to the last, sailing I'm sailing I'm sailing I'm sailing. Ah, well, what a fun time we're having together. See if I can get this. There we go. All right. Well, hello everybody in California and one person in South Carolina, or wherever everyone else is. So, as Amy mentioned, my talk title today is Your Spiritual To-Do List. What I don't think I did tell her the subtitle. The subtitle is Do Be Do Be Do. So there's a little something hiding in there, and we'll talk about that. But essentially, what I'm looking at is, how can we stay in an awake state of being in the midst of all our doing? And often, sometimes we can have do, and then we remember to be, and then we do, we get lost, and we remember to be. And so I'm really looking at how can we just blend that into one state of being. So I want you to think, like before you came into this life, we're all busy, right? We've got all these to-do lists, things we got to do, it's all stacking up, it seems. But I just want to ask you, before you came into this life, do you think you were up in heaven thinking, I can't wait to get to earth to do all my things on my to-do list? Is that why you came here? And I don't think the answer is yes to that. I think it's really, we came to grow as souls and to step into, really increasing our sense of being and bringing that beingness to everything. So this, it feels like there's so much to do, but, couldn't you also say there's so much to be? Maybe the real question is, who are you being while you're so busy doing? Okay? So I want to look at just, some different ways how we can encourage and remind ourselves to stay in that. And I often feel like, any minister that stands up and gives a talk, any speaker, often you're probably sitting there thinking, this is something I've heard before, this is nothing new, but I think maybe you'll hear a different angle, or maybe it's just good to always be reminded from maybe a slightly different way. So hopefully this will be helpful. In A Course in Miracles, I love where it says, there's a phrase, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. So, and the Course in Miracles talks a lot about I am still as God created me, which is that the eternal essence is changeless, and that's true. We're still, that part can't be changed. Our personality and all these other layers and levels do go through their turmoil and changes, but who we are at our core is changeless. So when I hear that phrase, I am not a body, so I don't identify with this, I am free, for I am still as spirit. That's still as God created me. Now, I also love there's another nugget in that phrase, and that is just simply the portion which says, I am still. And this invites me to remember that part of me which is just in a pure state of stillness. And that's that place of being. It's not the doing, it's not the running around going crazy. It's that I am still. I am still, which is how God created me. So isn't that beautiful? A fun little twist on that phrase. Why is it important how we are being? I want to look back on something that happened to me in my late 20s, and this, to me, is a great illustration of kind of being off the mark. You think you're on track with a good goal, but maybe you're missing the point if your beingness doesn't line up with your doingness. So this was in the late 70s. I was living in Boulder, Colorado, and at this particular time there was a big protest, a big kind of peace protest happening out at the nuclear weapons manufacturing plant on the outskirts of town. So hundreds of people were out there. They had these, the flags with the peace symbol on it, a little circle, and they're all out there protesting the nuclear weapons plant because they wanted peace on the planet. They didn't want nuclear weapons, and understandable. But what I remember is watching the evening news, and there was their spokesman was speaking to an interviewer on the for the TV station. And the guy said that they were there to fight for peace. And I thought about that. I thought, wait a second, fighting for peace? Something isn't lining up there, is it? The only energy I felt from him was anger. I just saw anger, and he's fighting for peace. And it's like, well, that didn't seem to really match up, their energy, their beingness with the goal that they're trying to achieve. And, I don't think anger is ever going to lead to peace. Do you? It reminded me of a kind of tongue-in-cheek saying that I heard years ago, and I'm going to try and clean this up for church. But basically, the saying goes like this: fighting for peace is like screwing for virginity. So have you ever heard that one? It's like fighting for peace. So it's really not lining up. So it does not compute, right? And so it's a reminder to me during whatever we're doing in our lives to remember to be clear about what's the energy we're in while we're doing, and what are we putting out in the process. There's a great line in the Course in Miracles from the text, and it has another way of putting it, and some of you have heard this before. The cost of giving is receiving. The cost of giving is receiving. So what you're paying, the cost, what you're paying for whatever you're putting out there is that you're going to get it back. And, there are other ways to say that. John Lennon called it instant karma, but essentially it's saying, whatever you're putting out in the world, it's coming back to you, and that's the energy you get to live in. If you've been to my Course in Miracles workshop, you've heard this metaphor. It dawned on me once that imagine you're standing in front of someone you're in a relationship with, and you have in each of your hands you have a little vial, a little glass vial, and in your left hand it's the vial. It's a beautiful smell of perfume, and in the other vial it's the smell of skunk. And you get to decide which one you're going to open up and offer to the other person. But whatever you open up, you're going to smell it too. You know, the cost of giving is receiving. The energy of your being is what you're living in, no matter what you're doing or think you're achieving. So we're talking about lining up our doing with our being. I want to share another experience that happened to me, and this was in Italy back in 2000. It was March of 2003. And I don't know if you remember that time in our history, but that was right on the brink of us invading Iraq. You know, and it hadn't quite happened yet, but we were kind of on the brink of war. And this is right when I was arriving into Italy, and a friend of mine was driving me back to her house, to her family, her husband, 2 daughters, and I was going to stay there as a house guest for a few days. But what blew my mind was that in the car ride on the way back to her house, after she picked me up, that on hundreds of houses that we drove by, there were all these peace flags just flying everywhere, off balconies and in front of houses. And it's like unbelievable, these rainbow flags with the word peace, you know, pace in Italian. And it's like I've never seen anything like it in my life. And just the end of my heart welled up. It's like, oh my God, these people are begging for peace. Please don't start this war. And I was just speechless, and I was thinking we would never see this in our country, would we? It's like, wow, their doing was expressing their being. And that's what also impressed me, is like they weren't just thinking it, they were doing it. So their being was showing up in their doing. They had the courage to express it, to show it, to line it up, to really express who they were. And so that was amazing. And then the next morning, the couple went off to their 2 jobs, the 2 girls went off to school, and I was just left there still kind of jet lagged in their kitchen, just, thinking about that experience last night with all the flags. And I started to have this little melody come to me and an idea for a song, and I got out my guitar. And I started thinking again about this fighting for peace is missing the point. And this song actually kind of addresses that. And in the first chorus, I use a phrase we've all used forever, let there be peace. I mean, we use it in the peace song in Unity, right? Let there be peace. And but then it evolves. In the second chorus, it switches to let us be peace. Let us be peace. And that's different, isn't it? Let there be peace is kind of like, let there be peace over there, let it be out there. But like, what if we move into a state of being that is peace? And if everyone on the planet did that, all the conflict would be over in an instant. That's all it would take. Game over. Let us be peace. Let us come from a place of being in peaceful state. That would make it happen. That would make it happen. So anything that's really true, and if it's really going to be a true peace, that's to start from the center and work out. If we're starting from chaos here, we're not likely to create peace out there, are we? So let us be peace. Let us be peace. That's the only way it's going to be genuine and real and born out of a state of being. And I was thinking maybe this talk shouldn't be called your spiritual to-do list. Maybe it's your spiritual to-be list. What do I need to be? And let the doing take care of itself. I have another fun story to share. And this actually, what I love about this is that it was totally unexpected. And I was a teenager when this happened. But in the end, this story is also about my state of being. And I met a really famous person who told me, in the end of the story is him telling me how to be, not what to do. And so this is what happened. It was kind of this great brush with greatness. I was 16 years old and living in Houston where I grew up. And my grandparents came to town from Fort Worth. That's like a 5-hour drive back in the day. And normally they'd come stay with us, but my grandfather was attending a big convention, so they were staying at the Hilton Hotel downtown. rather than with us. So they weren't going to have time to see us, so we drove in to just connect with Grandma and Grandpa. And we got to the Hilton and went up the elevator to their floor, and we're coming down the hallway. And the room right before theirs was wide open. So just before we got to the room, I just looked in, and there were these two kind of hippie-looking guys teasing their big kind of afro hair in front of the mirror. And it took me about a second to realize, oh my God, those are Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell. They're the two sidemen that play with Jimi Hendrix. And then a split second later, someone down the hall yelled that they had just run into Hendrix's manager on the elevator. And the message came that Hendrix is downstairs in the lobby right now sitting on a couch. And so we did a quick hello to Grandma and Grandpa and ran back. Me and my three siblings ran down to the elevator, went downstairs into the lobby, and there was Jimi Hendrix just sitting on the couch by himself, just hanging out. And we thought, oh my God. So we all walked up and said hi and shook his hand. And my brother reminds me that I made him laugh. I cracked some sort of joke about if he'd made $1 million yet, and he laughed. So I made Jimi Hendrix laugh. That's cool. And then we asked for his autographs. And he said, sure. And he walked over to the administration desk and got some little papers to hand us. And he wrote out a little autograph to each of us. And what he wrote to me was, to Charlie, be groovy, Jimi Hendrix. To Charlie, be groovy, Jimi Hendrix. And I have to tell you, I've been groovy ever since. But what I love is he didn't say get her done. He didn't say go out and do it. He didn't say be. He just told me how to be. And I love that. And I love the story. First, it's just fun to tell the story, but that's how he chose to address it. Just be this, be that. And I have to tell you, it's also fun. Every now and then I'll meet a guitarist and I'll say, shake my hand. And I'll tell him afterwards, you just shook the hand that shook Jimi Hendrix's hand. And that's just fun to kind of pass that energy on as well. So I want to ask you another question. Do you care what other people think about you? And to be honest, I do. And maybe it's healthy to a degree, but sometimes I wonder if we allow the opinions of others to keep us from being who we really are. So we might, skew our doing to accommodate others' ideas of how we're meant to be. And I had something kind of fun happen to me years ago around this, and this has to do with my son when he was 3 years old. And he didn't care. A 3-year-old doesn't care what you think. And maybe we could learn something from a 3-year-old, because here's what happened. So his mom and I and we just finished dinner, and we were watching TV. And then Jeremy, the 3.5-year-old, he wandered off into the kitchen again. Now we'd had dinner, and afterwards we had some chocolate, and everyone loved the chocolate. Then we put it away, and like high on a shelf in the cupboard. And so after a few minutes, we noticed that Jeremy wandered into the kitchen, and then he said, "Where'd Jeremy go?" And he reappeared back in the doorway, and he just looked at us and he said, "Me want chocolate." And we said, "Well, no, Jeremy, we've eaten enough, and enough for one night. You can't have any more." And he just stood there defiant, had his hands on his hips, and he said, "Well then, me no ask you." And he turned around and headed back into the kitchen. "Me no ask you." And we weren't too worried, because we know it was way up high, like 3 shelves above the countertop. And but a minute later we thought, well, maybe we better check on him anyway. And we walked in there, and the little guy, he had pushed this chair up to the counter, crawled up on the chair, crawled up on the counter. He was just about to reach the chocolate on the 3rd shelf. And we couldn't believe it. And he didn't care about our opinions. We got him just in time, but his doing was totally aligned with his being. It was just, to me, it's about, are you letting other people get in the way of, are their opinions keeping you from, because he stayed focused on point. His being and doing were lined up no matter what we think. The no didn't count anymore. He said, okay, I got a no, so erase the idea that I even asked you. No, me no even ask you. It's like, so, are you deterred in the face of people saying no? Maybe hit the reset button to delete the obstacles so you'll stay on course. And that's what he did, didn't he? I've been doing public presentations for 41, 42, 43 years now, and when I first got on stage, I was so nervous, and until I realized, well, people want me to succeed, and it's really about connecting and learning to be in the energy. Sometimes the energy can throw you off if you let it. But a minister, when he first encouraged me to get up and give a talk, I said, well, I don't know. And he said, well, listen, it's really about presence. And you have a good presence, Charlie. So don't worry about, just share your presence and what you have to share. But remember just to be that beingness is what counts the most. It's just how you're being. And that really has affected me. And hopefully it's been useful and helpful to other people just to me show up in how I am being. Now, a way that my wife has pointed out to me that sometimes I get off track with that is when I have a lot of tasks to do around the house. And this is back to the to-do list versus the to-be list. And she'll let me know that she can see, Charlie, you were just in go mode. It's like you're not even here. You're not even present. You're just get it done, get it done, get it done. And I appreciate, maybe not in the moment, but I appreciate her pointing that out. This like, come back to who I am, bring my beingness to whatever task I'm doing. And I think she's essentially saying that she misses me. Like, where did Charlie go? So maybe a reminder to some of you that get so lost in the doing that maybe we're not in our heart anymore in our beingness and really blending that into what we're doing. Have you ever heard the phrase, don't just sit there, do something? You ever heard that? Don't just sit there, do something. That's kind of that comes from the mentality of really your value is in your doing. I had a spiritual teacher years ago flip it and say, don't just do something, sit there. Isn't that a good one? Don't just do something, sit there. And that's an invitation to being, isn't it? Just like, instead of just caught up, do. Wait, what if you just, it's back to that be still and know. Be still. Just sit there for a moment. Go into that inner place. So that's a good reminder. Well, I think I'll start to wrap this up. I think about my minister friend said, it's about presence, it's about who you are. It's not necessarily even what you're saying. I found this great quote from Maya Angelou, and she kind of says the same thing. Listen to these words. She said, Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that comes from beingness, doesn't it? It's not what you did, not what you said, but it's where you brought them in a sense of being. So do, be, do. I think the real invitation is not to alternate between them, but to blend them into a state of being. Your doing and your being become one, become blended. And there's no Buddhist teaching that comes to mind, and it says, what do you do before enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. What do you do after enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. But maybe in that after enlightenment, then you really have blended your doing and your being, when before maybe you're living this kind of split world. So life continues on with its daily chores. It may not look different to anyone from the outside, but hopefully you're moving from a place of more awakened consciousness of being. So we bring heaven and earth together, like body and soul, like maintaining your sense of love and inner peace, even when doing your earthly life. Maybe it's like strangers in the night. Your doing and your being have become like strangers in the night. It's time for them to be friends or even lovers, to blend together, to dance together, and to truly do, be, do. And there you have it. Thank you. I'm going to hand it back over to Amy.
Thank you so much, Charlie. I love that. Do, be, do. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
So many good reminders there. I love the Be Groovy. That was a great story. And, it really shows where somebody's at too, that they can be in that present moment of just be groovy. I love that. Okay. So next time I'm going to shake your hand.
Okay. Pass it on.
I know I've given you lots of hugs. I don't know if I've actually shaken your hand.
Nobody shakes hands at Unity.
I know. Now we're like elbow bump or something.
Yeah.
So beautiful. what are you saying? I'm still just as God created me. Oh, for the Course in Miracles.
Yeah, I'm still as
Um,
God created me.
and I love how you mentioned the, let us be peace. We actually changed that song with Brentwood Inspired Living Center. We say, now there is peace on earth, because we're claiming it present. But I love this.
Yes.
Like we can say, now we are peace. Now we are peace on earth. We are it.
Let us be peace on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love that song. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions, comments, anything you want to add, share, ask Charlie before we head into the concert in a half an hour? Hi, Debbie. Welcome in. Jennifer's here. Car's here. Marianne. Hi, Dave. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Sometimes I don't know if my feed is a little slow, and maybe that's why I don't see comments yet. If you have anything to ask Charlie, anything you want to add to this morning, we welcome it all. I like what was it? Did you say a minister said once, don't just do something, sit there.
Yeah.
I like that. Because that's the truth. We can get so in our heads about the doing, about we have the answers and we need to find the solutions, and we need to gather, all of this right now we have to finish. And yet where the answers emerge, where all of the peace emerges, is from that just be still and know.
Yeah. You reminded me, I had a teacher say years ago that if you're trying to figure it out, you're going to be lost.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to figure it out.
Right.
Find that place of deeper knowing instead of the lower mind trying to calculate everything.
Yeah, because then that's not even coming from our highest truth. That's,
Yeah.
us trying to mold and manipulate a situation or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
we are trying to be at the driver's seat and not just surrender to the divine plan and the divine unfoldment. And haven't we all experienced that when we do that, it's like it turns out better than we can imagine rather than when we're trying to make it all fit into the box.
It's as if divine order is actually a thing.
Right? Yeah. How about that? It's actually a thing. Pat says, I love your comments on being. Yes. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, it's just a good reminder, especially this time of year. I was at TJ Maxx last night with my daughter. Let me tell you about a place where there's a lot of doing going on. The lines out the door and
a lot of figuring out.
It's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on here. There's so much frenetic energy. But yeah, a lot of doing, checking off the list. So
Can people see me right now?
yeah, we're both on the screen.
Oh, you got to see my mug that my sister-in-law gave me. See that? Kindness is cool.
Cute. I love that.
Isn't that fun? I could have
It is
this could have been my talk for 20 minutes. Just hold the mug up.
That's right. Just hold that. Kindness is cool. My mug today is pray more, worry less.
Like
It's
it.
my prayer. I call it my prayer mug because I'm always praying when I have my coffee in the morning. Of course, now it's 2:00 my time. My coffee is a little cold.
Yeah, my tea is a little cold.
I have tea. In my hot thermos. So Pat says, reminded of Walsh's comments on having, doing, being. Yeah. Good morning, Pat. Nice to see you here. Okay, everybody, let me see if I can paste. Oh, did it not grab it? I was going to paste our link for our workshop. I will do that now. Charlie, remind us the best way for everyone to get a hold of you again. What is the best website or email, or how can everybody?
Well, let's see, what is the best? Well, musicangel.com is my website, and all my contact info is on the contact page. So if you can remember, musicangel.com. And there is one of my web pages is about the Italy tour if people are interested. And I do have a wonderful Unity woman here who needs a roommate for April.
Yeah.
And
okay, good.
One more double room if a couple wants to come.
Oh, nice.
And
okay. And what are those dates? April
15th through 28th. So it's the weekend after Easter we start.
Okay, nice.
Okay,
everybody,
nice.
Take note. Contact Charlie if you're interested in that. Charlie's been doing that for years, and I know of several people that have been on those trips and just rave about them. So
this will be my 60th time flying into Italy.
Wow.
60th.
That's something. That's something. Wow. Amazing. Okay. So great. Wonderful. Well, everybody knows we're getting ready to have a concert. Luinda says, wow, wonderful message. It's all about our just being who we are. What is our energy? I love the Maya Angelou message, and it's not so much what we say or do, but how we make others feel. It's true, right? We can always feel the energy of another person, can't we?
That's what sticks.
That's what sticks. Definitely. Okay, beautiful beings. We've got a little bit of time before, so get yourself nourishment and hydrate, and then come back and get ready for the concert. If you can share this message, Charlie's message today, you can share it on Facebook Messenger. You can find the YouTube link, which should be up this evening. It's also on our website. So think of somebody who would like to hear this message and share it. That's what we like to do. We like to spread our message far and wide. So don't keep it to yourself. Share it with everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for listening and being here. Marianne, Scooter Jr., the whole crowd.
Yes, lots of friends here. Thank you for joining with us. We're so grateful. Thank you. We're excited to be together. If your spirit, mind, heart feel nourished, expanded by our community, please consider visiting our Ways to Give page. Our center is 100% supported by your generous contributions, and we are so appreciative of that energetic exchange. Thank you for allowing us to continue this inspiring and touching hearts and lives. It's what we love to do around here. So we're going to close with our prayer of divine awakening. And so I invite you at home to speak it out, share it along. Whoops, that's not the screen I want. Where is our prayer of divine awakening? Share screen. I'm going to bring it up so you can see it and say it out loud at home. The prayer of divine awakening. It's a new day, a beautiful day, a new beginning. I embrace this day with new eyes, an open heart, and expansive mind. I choose my vibrational frequency deliberately and consciously, harmonizing with life's events. I am receptive to source energy, divine guidance and wisdom available to me at all times. I commit to serve unconditional love fully and completely. I move forward in a state of appreciation, an extension of the one magnificent power and presence. I am sovereign, whole, and free, claiming dominion over my life as I go in peace and awaken to my divinity. And so it is. Claim it, declare it. It is yours. Shine on, bright ones. Bring joy to the world this week. And I will see you in just about 21 minutes in our workshop link, which I dropped here in the feed. And it's also on our website, brentwoodilc.org, right there on the homepage. So we'll see you there very shortly. Thank you, Charlie. You're such a blessing to us, and we're so grateful.
Thank you.
I'll see everybody next Sunday. It's Christmas Day next Sunday.
Woohoo.
Hard to believe. We're winding down the year. Mwah. Blessings, everybody. Goodbye.
See you at the concert.
Yes. See you at the concert right now, 20 minutes.